remember that just one emotional reaction can destroy a whole mediation session, and then you won't achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. Imagine this scenario of a family dispute. Everybody is heated up. Temperatures are rising. People are basically shouting at each other because they are not even listening to each other to the end. And then things are getting heated up. And then you pause, you know, you pause, you're there. Then they are probably even wondering how come this mediator is not saying anything. And then after that pause, you just say, it seems like this topic or this element or this aspect is very important to you. Automatically things tone down. They tone down. Yeah. The whole idea of managing emotions as a mediator is that we don't react, we respond. Yeah? Because if we react, then we make things worse and we don't get anywhere. Because the unexperienced mediator, or one who is not good at it or managing emotions, when people start raising their voices and so on and so forth, the tendency is a reaction of like, no, 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 cool it off, kind of, you're kind of start trying to suppress them. No, that's not the way to do it. Because it also means that, honestly, we don't understand the anatomy of a conflict. People don't come to a conflict, sounding very nice and civil, yeah, at the beginning. They are not, yeah. The emotions are high because that's what conflict does, yeah. It raises the temperatures. It makes our emotions go haywire because it's like those triggers that our opponent comes with. It creates a reaction in us, yeah, because we are feeling, we are sensing a perception of a threat to our interest. Our interests are threatened, yeah, and we want to defend ourselves. And that's why, among other things, it's good to understand deeply what emotions are. It's a whole study on its own, not just the superficial knowledge of our emotional intelligence and so on and so forth. It's something a lot deeper. It's something that you study in philosophy, in theology. It's deeper. The emotions are 11, and they're the instinctive ways in which we react to situations. Yeah, so they are there. They are human, and they are bound to be there. Yeah, before we engage our reason, our emotions usually come into place first because they're instinct. Yeah, they're instinctive. And then in mediation, without getting to that topic now, you can follow me and you can check with me about the depth and in-depth knowledge of what emotions are. There are some of those, they are divided in two groups. One of the groups is one of those ones, the emotions that come to play when you're faced with a difficult situation, like in a case of a conflict. Yeah. And there are 5 of them. Yeah. Two, each with an opposite, and one without, which is anger. But then there's courage and fear. Then there is a hope and despair, and then anger, which doesn't have an opposite. So we are more likely to be dealing with those kind of emotions in any mediation session, especially anger, fear, and despair. Yeah. Going back, maybe you've seen it in my another video talking about the 3 illusions that parties come with when they come with a conflict, or when they come to mediation. Is that illusion of thinking that one of us has to win, the other one has to lose. One has to win, one has to lose. We can't both win. The second one is an illusion of the bad person, that I'm not to blame, you are to blame. If you change, we will be okay. Everything will be fine. We'll be through with this and everything will be sorted out. Then the third illusion is certain of feeling there's a big rock on the road. We can't get past to the other side. That illusion of hopelessness or despair, and feeling, it's too big. This person can't change. How many times have we had parties saying that? This person can't change. There's no way. We're just wasting our time. We've gone over this so many times and so on and so forth. So for a mediator, just remember, have that in your background, that the emotions are there. But there's that magic of when you are able to pause and, in fact, specifically even let the parties vent. Please let them vent, because it creates a catharsis, a kind of relief once they have let it out of their chest, as they say. Let them vent. As long as you're able to be, you're in control. So what is there to fear? Yeah, let them vent, because if you don't, then you're suppressing their emotions, they're suppressing their feelings. They'll go back, or they will not continue, because they will be just in the same position they were in before they came to mediation. So let them vent, then know how to reframe. After they have gone through all that, know how to reframe. Just that simple thing of telling them, this seems very important to you. Could you tell us more? Could you say more? Honestly, by the time that person is saying a bit more, they have toned down, and they have even felt heard. Even if they don't realize it, they will have toned down. Yeah, I've experienced that a lot in mediations, and it's good when you hear a party saying, "Maniki, I can't believe you even sat through that," But it's that, that you have to let them go through it, through the emotions. Yeah. So anyway, in a nutshell, remember that emotions are not to be suppressed. They are to be managed. And a good mediator knows how to manage them. Yeah? Just learn how to be calm under pressure. Yeah? Because that's what mediation is all about. You have to be the one with a cool head in that room. Yeah? And as I said at the beginning, learn to respond, not to react. And then for more insights on this, keep up with us so that you know how to be calm under pressure. Because in mediation, there can be a lot of pressure. And a good mediator knows how to handle that pressure by knowing and understanding how to manage emotions. See you in my next one. Bye.